Hello, everyone. Welcome to today podcast, the first podcast of 2026. My name is Daniella Lattanzi. For who doesn't know me, I'm the co-founder and CEO of Holistic Health Solutions and Effective Practice Management. Hope you all doing well. Today we have a great speaker and podcast for you with an awesome speaker and friends. I have with me David Lee Jensen. Hello, David. How are you today?
I am great, Danielle. Thanks so much for having me. This is super exciting to be back on your show and to be the first guest of 2026. Woo! Awesome.
That's right. That's totally exact. So, first of all, let me also welcome every one of you that you're here. Thank you, first of all, for being here with us and spending some of your precious time with us. It's always an honor. And this is people that taking the time to improve themselves and invest in their skill is very, very much like appreciated. So, and while we're waiting, people coming in and welcome. Let me see. Already we have some people. Welcome. So first of all, a little point of coordinations. So if you have any questions, you're welcome to send your question on the chat, and we will respond to you. And David, okay, so well, first of all, welcome again. Like you mentioned, we had David with us last year, a few months ago, and it was awesome. And it's great to have you back. David, for who doesn't know you, can you please tell about a little bit about yourself, your company, and your experience?
Sure, absolutely. My name's David Lee Jensen. I travel the world doing motivational public speaking, and that began after I wrote a best-selling book called The Naked Interview: Hiring Without Regret, and started an online class platform called the Hiring Academy, which to date has sold about 75,000 copies, and
Wow.
it helps business owners learn how to hire the right people the first time and every time. Um, I exited the corporate world after growing a company to $2.5 billion. And ever since then, all of my business activities are just to help others
Hmm.
expand and gain the ability to create their own impact. And that's why now I help people with public speaking, because I find a lot of people out there have great ideas and they're running big teams, but they don't know how to present to them. And I think it's super important skill. And so I love that you're helping your practice managers with that exact same view. And so I'm here to help.
Great. Yeah, and you're absolutely correct. Like public speaking, I believe that is a skill that every single business owner should have and under as part of their tools. But on that subject, David, I want to ask you questions. I was reading several magazine or publications recently. In fact, I'm quoting ones I'm reading. TechCrunch reported a prediction that 2026 would be the year of the humans, explicitly contrasting early automation hype with AI. And also, I saw another article from the Rolling Stone. 2026 will be the year of humanity, emphasizing human connections and empathy. So, when you hear this phrase of more and more about 2026 is the year of a human, what's your perspective about it? Why do you think that also having a skill of public speaking now more than ever is important?
Yeah, those are some awesome quotes, and I really applaud them for pointing that out because the last year has been this kind of like I feel like it was the year of fake, right? It was like yeah, everyone's putting the filters. I mean, it's been a few years in the running, right? Filters to make you more beautiful while you're on Instagram. or you're on X or you're on whatever, because that's where everybody was. Nobody was meeting you in the grocery store and saying, wow, you look really different than you do online, right? It just became this plastic, fake, whatever. And then AI really started to take off, even, like a 47-year-old guy like myself. Well, I mean, 57-year-old guy like myself would go out and use AI to promote my business or whatever. And I think the humanity part got lost for a little bit. And it was like, whoa, I don't want the robots taking over. And boy, why
Yeah.
does they keep putting these long dashes in between what I say? And, there's all these funny things that AI does that are not human. So I think this year we learn more about how to use the AI and we're the boss, not letting it be the boss. So humanity's back in control. And that means being a bit more genuine and being yourself. And that's being human.
Right, right. I agree 100%. And to a degree, kind of you touched upon, but in alignment to what you say, right, is I guess this is one of the reasons why now maybe more than ever, some people kind of you have a bit of a divided, like you have people that are all in AI, but also you have more people that are craving real human experience and human expert more than ever because that's
Human
the real
expert.
value is.
Wow. Yeah, I think, the fact that we even have to say things like a human expert or this is the year of humanity or whatever shows just how far we've strayed from the road. Like
Yeah,
just be yourself, right?
yeah,
And that's a lot what we teach in the public speaking. I mean, public speaking is about overcoming glossophobia, which glossophobia is the fear of public speaking, right? And it's
yeah.
it's a huge fear. It's greater than the fear of sharks or spiders or snakes. Well, I'm more afraid of snakes than public speaking for sure. Um, but all of these things are superseded by the fear of public speaking. And I think that applies not just to being online in a Zoom call or not just being on stage, but also sometimes just in person, like running your employees, being willing to tell people that they did something right and validate them or that they did something wrong and you need them to adjust, right? And
Hmm.
that's all public speaking skill, especially when you want to bring the whole team together and say, hey guys, here's what we intend, to accomplish to help our, customers or our employees or our clients or our patients. All of those things come from a leader being willing to speak up.
Hmm. Totally. That makes sense. That makes sense. Now, on the same subject, but from a different angle, right? And I'm sure you had also the same experience because I know you work with uh, thousands of professional, and but we have many of our practitioners that are amazing clinicians. That they are super duper trained, and they are incredible in what they do. They create miracle. However, at the same times, they are kind of invisible in their community because nobody knows of them, right?
Mm, yeah.
Why, like like you have trained like so many people, like, and I don't know if this is happen in some other uh, uh, like a area of professions, but why do you think there is this big gap sometimes between expert but at the same times nobody knows about them?
I think it comes down to, and I own a company called Jensen Business Advisory, and we work with seven-figure and eight-figure CEOs, helping them expand their businesses. And oftentimes, I do see that same gap you do, which is some guys who are, they're willing to talk one-on-one, but they're not willing to talk in a group. Or maybe they've gotten themselves to now talk to 4 or 5 executives at the same time, but they're not willing to talk to the whole team of 20 or 80 or 100 or whatever it is. And I think that gap, you know, uh, besides the whole fear and the psychological element of, that fear, is nobody's ever trained them. Nobody's ever
Right.
taught them what the steps of learning how to public speak are. And if
Yeah.
they would just do the training, it's just like anything else. I don't know about you. We all know that selling is like a big, huge problem, the same, level as like speaking, right?
Yeah.
But you never would think twice about, oh, I'm going to go do a sales closing course, right? I'm going to learn how to sell. So
Yeah.
people just need to start saying, oh, I'm going to learn how to speak. You
Yeah.
see? And if they're willing
Hmm.
to learn how to speak, then they'll learn how to speak and they'll be able to effectively impact with a message to others. And that's going to then, help them expand their business. I think it's a lost art that just needs to
Yeah.
be learned.
Totally. That makes sense. And on those lines, like connecting, going back a little bit on the point of AI and visibility, because now, like, I mean, there is another aspect of AI because now all the search engine is changing. Like, you have Google and you have ChatGPT, GDP, and they are the one that kind of now, sending out messages and so forth, and people searching, but they don't have anymore the link. So when we talk about visibility, right, and that therefore integration of AI and visibility on their marketing, if somebody is invisible today because of all the change that is happening, how do you think that public speaking can help to fill that gap? Because
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, like if you're speaking, I mean, yeah, you can do all these things online, but I mean, all you need really, like, you can print some flyer and do all style, knock on the doors and start passing flyers and
Yeah.
just do a speaking seminar at the local library, maybe at the Starbucks, at the
Yeah.
Barnes and Noble, or something.
For
So
sure. Yeah, those dinner talks that, a lot of practitioners do and, things of that sort. Some people avoid them because they're not great public speakers and they think, oh, well, I'm just going to put more money into my Instagram advertising or into my, LinkedIn profile or something like that. When really, the humanity points that you already
mhm,
brought up is
yeah,
a good firm handshake and a hello and being there in person, having a live conversation. I mean, here's the thing. Nowadays, you hear people complain of like, oh, I only had 30 views on my post, and oh, like nobody likes me, and da da da. So, first of all, if you got 30 people in a room, that's a lot of people in a room. And so if they're
yeah,
hearing your message or seeing you and you got 30 people live, think of how many people you could close to become patients. Think of how many people you could help with, what you're delivering. So I think that mindset has to change from how many likes and follows and, all this do I have to like how many people have I met today, whether it's
yeah,
door knocking or giving a presentation or giving a free analysis or whatever it is. I think i think that's just so much far more important. And even if you don't have speaking skills, which remember you can learn and you should probably do a course on learning how to speak better, you still have yourself. You never started a business or hired employees or had patients without having some speaking skill and some knowledge base. That your knowledge base, just like my speaker knowledge base is like this, it's like overflowing
right,
because I've spoken to stadiums of people and thousands of people at a time, and I get paid a lot of good money to go and speak on stage, right? But I could never tell somebody what's wrong with their L4, L5, and I could never tell them, what's happening with their sciatica, and I could never do that stuff. That's not my expertise. It's yours and it's your clients. And so if your clients took that viewpoint of like, hey, I have a knowledge base that needs to be shared with the world, that's the first step towards being willing to communicate to somebody their knowledge base. And then that then leads to, okay, now they're a little bit better speaker because they're speaking about what they know. And do you see how that then
yeah,
just progresses into expanding your practice?
totally, yeah, absolutely. Like is and I am I I think you hit the right point because many of our practitioners, I mean, a lot of our doctors, I mean, in not just ours, but in general, I mean, obviously they are super duper expert on their own field, and that body of knowledge they acquired after many years of study and a lot of sacrifice of learning all that stuff. So I believe that if they are really passionate about it, like definitely we want them to bring it to their community and to the world through public speaking, which lead me to the next question to you. Like, do you think that in a way, like a public speaking could be also a little bit of a way to cut through the noise of all the technical and marketing, like, all the SEO and AI, TikTok, and all these mumbo jumbo that not necessarily somebody is technically trained, but going back to simple speaking, and learn on how to deliver a message. How important is that skill today as a way to cut through all the noise?
Yeah, that's true. There's an influencer guy, super successful and fun guy named Gary Vaynerchuk. I don't know if you've heard of
Yeah,
him
yeah,
before.
yeah.
A lot of people probably have. And I was at a conference with him. We were both speaking at, and of course I watched him because he's a brilliant talent at public speaking. And one of the things he said was like, it was really funny. He was like, how many people still watch TV ads? Right. And he's like, in this day of, the recording boxes and in the day of streaming video and stuff like that, nobody watches TV ads. So he's like, companies shouldn't waste money on advertising. And then he said, and then billboards. He goes, why would you buy a billboard for people to look at when they're driving their cars and they're looking at their phones and they're, having another conversation and they're listening to this and they probably have a, something on their seat that they're, like they're so distracted nowadays that I like you called it noise. You've got to find a way to cut through the noise. And he said the way, he wrote a book called The Thank You Economy. And in it, he said the way that the noise is going to be struck through is bringing it back to the way your grandfather did business, which is
Mm,
a handshake and my word is as good as oak, right? Like,
right.
and if we could just take your social media and say, hey, let's meet live. I'm going to be at the, Colorado, the Boulder, public library on Thursday, right?
Yeah.
And let's meet live and then get people to come and see you live. Even if only half of those 30 likes, 15 people showed up, now
Sure.
you can have a real conversation and probably get 10 of those people to sign up for a service, right?
Yeah. Absolutely. Totally. That's absolutely correct. And
Yeah,
also, it's a great way to drive business to your door because again, kind of you will have that human connection that
right.
you're establishing through the presentations about, or just a conversation about, I don't know, like I see when I go on YouTube, there is always like video about fatty liver or insulin resistance or this or that, and this is our conversation that can be carried out to the local library or to the local place that you want to.
Yeah, absolutely. I 100% agree. And I think that you can you can develop relationships, towards a sales point too, because people say, oh, well, I'm just selling, selling, selling on stage. Yeah, but everything you do in life is selling.
Yeah,
If you're single and you see a pretty girl in the store and you kind of smile or like say, oh, I like that brand of, milk or whatever, right? That's what you're doing. You're selling, right? So
yeah,
why not do that for your business as well? And have a little flirtation with your potential clients and say, hey, I see you were holding your back a little odd, da, da, da. Do you know that's usually blah blah blah, let me help you with that. Boom, now you've got
yeah,
a potential client. It's not something new, right? It's something we've done our
right.
entire lives, is speaking. It's just when it gets framed with all of the noise, like you said, and then all of the AI, I better make sure my speech is exactly right, and I'm going to have it rewritten by 4 different types of AI. Those things have caused the confusions. Let's get
Yeah,
back to basics and just talk to people.
yeah, totally, totally. Now, here's a common objection, like that I hear when we speak about to practitioners, well, in general, like when we speak with them about public speaking, because we advocate also the fact that a great way to get new clients is to have weekly or bi-weekly or monthly education workshop at their place, right? But a lot of them, they always reply back, well, but I'm not a speaker, or I don't want to be on stage, or I have fear about speaking, which you mentioned already. Like, how do you respond to that, and what is a tip that you can give to listener about this point and how to overcome it?
Yeah, I think it's really, I mean, it's skills learned, right? There's no magic bullet that can I just say, yeah, just, put your finger on your ear while you speak and everything will be just fine. Okay. If you do this, you're going to be the best public speaker in the whole wide world, right? There is no quick fix like that, right? So it's just getting into, and training doesn't need to take long, right? There's simple steps, right? We developed a program called 6 Steps to Speaking Success.
Oh,
Now,
wow. Nice.
yeah, and we make people have to say that 6 steps to speaking success, right? And but those simple steps can be trained in one day, and then you have the ability and a framework to be able to get on stage, the same as you would have a sales framework or a public relations framework or a marketing framework. We just add speaking to the mix and give you a simple framework that you can develop your speaking skill from. And we've found that it has 99.9% success rate. The one
Oh,
was the one was forget it. I'm just kidding. I won't go there. So, anyways, I do think it's a trained skill, right?
yeah.
People to sell someone something, they have to. We all agree they have to know you, they have to like you, and they have to trust you.
Yeah.
So if you build your speaker success around those points of how am I going to get somebody to know me, how am I going to get them to like me, and how am I going to get them to trust me, then you're going to just close every single person who steps in front of you. But
Wow.
you have to be willing to do that, right?
That's excellent. Incredible. Now, which led me to the last question, and so we can wrap up because I know you have also an appointment
Sorry, yeah, man,
next
we
shortly.
scheduled back to back today.
No problem, man. Like that's good. That's good. So for practitioners that are listening or they are watching, is going to watch these presentations. So okay, so you made a point that having these public speaking and communication skills is a vital missing piece and a vital point, right? So, I mean, you to a degree you already answered this point, but what's going to happen if they actually develop this skill the right way? Because a lot of times, how you say, it's all about training, right? So, and most of the people have not done a formal training on public speaking. So how such a skill is going to help to not only expand their practice, but also to fulfill their purpose as a practitioner.
Yeah, I think what it breaks down to is every single one of your providers, I'm sure, has some sort of sales system. And
Yeah,
if somebody walks in and goes, "Hey, my shoulder's out," or this, that, or the other, it's not too difficult to have that communication and close them on getting the service, right? There's not many people who shop chiropractors or who shop physical therapists who shop, right? Most people, that they come in, you've got them, right? So that makes the person, the doctor or the manager of the facility or whatever, it makes it really easy to communicate because all they have to do is say, "Where's it hurt? Yes, we can handle that. Here's how much it costs to handle that," right?
right.
So what we're trying to expand is the step before that, which is, why did they walk in the first place? Well, it was marketing. Something
Yeah,
said, "Hey, shoulder pain, come to our office and we'll help you," right?
yeah,
So they master this, then they master that, which is always a constant struggle, I understand. But then there's a missing piece before that, which is public relations. And
sure.
and that's where public speaking comes in, right? If you're out there and you do talks just to help the local, senior center or the local athletic director or the local this and that and the other, and you just with no hidden agenda go and say, "Hey, I'd like to, today talk to you about knee pain or this or that or the other, right? Then people remember that they met you. And then when their knee hurts, what do? They call you, they set up an appointment at your office. Or when they see a piece of your marketing, they're like, oh, I saw that guy speak on knee pain once. And so
Right.
then they come to your office. So we're trying to strengthen your marketing and strengthen your sales by strengthening your public speaking. And most people don't connect those dots, but if you pay attention, that's what we're talking about. It's expanding your practice through having this skill, right?
Totally, totally. This is actually is perfect because for all our listener, we are actually hosting in coordination with David's company a live training seminars on public speaking on February 20 here in Clearwater, and you're all invited. Obviously, we want you to be there. We want you to have this skill of public speaking. Um, David is one of, if is not one of, but the best of public speaker trainer that exists, because I don't know anybody else that is talented like him, but not only talented and funny and entertaining, but also that have the statistics to
You're
back it
calling
up.
me funny, Danielle? We're
Yeah,
trying
you
to
are funny.
So
I
let
mean,
me tell them, in the interest of
you,
time, let me tell them what we're going to give them for
you,
this, because
you,
you're just like, oh yeah, we're going to have a 1-day seminar. We're going to have a seminar, a full day workshop, so that they
yeah,
actually get to drill and they get to actually overcome their fears in this, right? And we're going to offer our Master Your Message. We have a message mastery package, which is $500, and it basically puts together each element of what you're trying to sell or what you're trying to accomplish in a talk, whether that be a board meeting or that
yeah.
be a staff meeting or that be a dinner talk or something of that sort, right? And so we help you master that message so that the framework keeps people's attention riveted, right? And that's normally a $500 service we do. It's coming in with the workshop. We're also going to have your keynote checklist, which is all the things to be prepared to give any talk ahead of time. And normally we charge $750 for that, because it's not just a checklist that we went through and went, oh, on AI and wrote out, but it's something that we actually customize to each and every client. And then we're doing a video critique, so they can go back to their practice after learning and figure out what their talk is, and then do it on camera and
Wow,
send it to us, and we'll critique it at no extra charge, like it's part of the package. And normally we charge $1,000 to do that, right? So we're
wow.
just building the value of this. On top of that, we'll then do a private consult of, look, you're going to need to work on this or work on that. And then we're going to probably even bring you in, Daniela, to like help them, align it to their area of practice and what they can actually deliver from that. And then, of course, there's the boot camp, which we normally charge $2,500 for our boot camp, right? That's our standard pricing. Sometimes we do it at $24.97, okay? $3 less than that 25. So if you take all of those products, right? It's the $500 message mastery, the $750 keynote checklist, the $1,000 video critique, the $1,500 private consult, the $2,500 boot camp. I'm not really great at math, but I have it written down. So it's $6,250 of value. Okay.
Wow.
And you and I came up with, to help your team, and I'm going to make this quick, but I'm going to make it like, hopefully it's not going to shock you and your team can scramble and change everything. You and I decided, all right, it's going to be $1,500 per person and $500 for, like, so for a practice owner. And then if they want to bring someone, it's another 500. So $2,000, they get two people in the door and they get this full day workshop that's going to blow their minds, and all the tools, and guaranteed they're going to get over any public speaking fear. Okay. So you and I worked that out, and I think it's awesome. And I know you've got some people rolling forward, and we've actually got people registered at that same thing. But because you had me back on the podcast a second time, and because I really believe that, it's not a matter of the money or the this or that or the other, it's just the fear of doing so. I want to make the money not even an issue. And I want to offer this entire package, $6,250 of value, live training. You're going to get to shake my hand, take pictures with me, and then get forced up on stage. Don't get scared. How to deliver your message. And instead of it being $6,250, we're going to offer it today and today only. If you're listening to this podcast now, call his office, get the link to buy, and we'll do it at $997. So less than a
Whoa,
grand,
99,
997.
what?
But wait, there's more, they always say in advertising, right? You can also bring a guest for that. Don't kill me, Danielle. We can take it out of my
Wow.
pocket.
Okay, guys, listen.
997, you and a guest, February 20th at our office. We have a great facility and there'll be a great lunch and it's going to be it's going to be amazing. But that's today only. If they
Yeah,
call tomorrow, too bad. So sad.
yes, yes.
Back to the 15.
Okay, so guys, listen. Okay, so if you're watching this workshop, this podcast live, you need to call immediately. This is the deal of it centering. Okay, so is not even $1,000. Like, you can get two people and get these skills. Like, get out of town. Come on, like this is too good, man.
And I promise, hand on a Bible, this is the lowest price we've ever done it at. And we want to do it because we want to get more quantity of people trained like this because it changes people's lives. We get success stories every single day that say, my God, I could not have done this with, this group. And now it got me 4 new patients a week because I'm doing this on a regular basis. And something like that, it's just invaluable. This is going to pay for itself the first time you go out and public speak.
I agree 100%. Like, listen, like public speaking again, kind of, I'm not a public speaker. I'm not never trained, but I love speaking because I love to teach people. And I know it's the same, all our practitioners, they love teaching. They love to talk to the community. They love to help people. And guys, this is the best way to, to communicate to your community, to your audience, talk to them. You bring your knowledge, like, so come here, come to learn how to public speak, learn this skill, like you need to have it. So David, I know that you need to run, so I really appreciate it. We are 1 minute over.
My phone is blowing up going,
yes.
Are you coming? So
okay.
I'm going to go on my other presentation. Thank you so much for having me today. You have such a great group. I love how you're helping practices. And that's another reason why I thought, let's just do this special $997. Roll that out to all your clientele, whether they were on the podcast or not, today only. And thanks again. And I look forward to seeing you on February 20th and
absolutely
change some lives.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
Take care. Say hi to your team. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay. Thank you. And all right. And thank you, everybody, for being here with us today. So again, today only, call us immediately. And if you're watching this replay on YouTube, it will be going on YouTube like immediately, like in the next half an hour. Call us immediately. And by the way, if you're going to be on YouTube, subscribe. Put the thumbs up. Is going to help us to spread the message, and the AI algorithm of YouTube. So there you have it. So otherwise, again, thank you for being here, and look forward to see you all to our public speaking seminar. Thank you. Bye-bye.